Hey, and welcome back. In this lesson, I want to teach you about how chords work, particularly major chords, how we find them, how they work, why we play them the way that we do. It's really important stuff to know because you don't want to just know where your fingers go. You want to be able to know, why is it that I can play this while someone else is playing this, while the bass player is playing this, or the keyboardist is playing this. Or let's say you come across a chord that you don't know, that you don't even recognize. You can figure out a way to play it based on knowing how to find the chord and how to make it work and how to find it on the fretboard. So let's take a look at the major chord. Now we're going to start with essentially chords are made up of three or more notes that are played together. So in this particular example with major chord, another way of looking at it is a major triad. With the major chord, we're just going to take three notes from a particular scale and put those notes together, and that's how we find the major chord. So really it's just a pattern that we're going to follow, and once we know the pattern, once we know the formula, we'll be able to find and play any major chord that we're looking for. So I've written out some of the scales beforehand that we're going to look at in this lesson. See if you can see it there. Now we're going to be going across. So we're going to start with the C going all the way across to the C. So C, D, E, F, G. And then in the next chord, we're going to start on the D, make our way across, E, make our way across. So what I've done here is I've written out the major scale, the C major scale, the D major scale, and the E major scale. Now, you can refer to another one of our theory lessons on how to find the major scale. Essentially what we're doing is to find the major scale, we're jumping a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and then half step to get back to the root. So again, that's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. That's how we found these scales. That's how we get it. We just follow that formula and this is what we get. So with the C scale, there are no sharps or flats. So we're just going to go right from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C. Now here's how we find major chords. We're going to take the root, which is the first note of this particular scale. So here's the root. And then we're going to take the third, which is the E, and then we're going to take the fifth. And when we play these three notes together, we are going to be playing the C major chord. So first, third, and fifth. That's how we get the C major chord. So I'm going to circle that just so it's clear. So when we take a major scale and we play the first, third, and fifth, we're going to get the chord, the major chord that we're going to be playing. So with the C chord, we're playing the C, E, and G. When we play those three together, we've got our C major chord. All right, let's take that exact same formula, do it using the D major scale. Take the first, third, and the fifth. So we're going to take the D, the F sharp, and the A, play all those together, and you guessed it, we got a D major chord. Take that same formula, first, third, and fifth, E, G sharp, and B. We are now playing the E major chord. So all it is really is knowing the formula, and then we'll be able to play the major chord that goes along with that pattern, with that formula. So we have to know the scale, and then we're just taking the first, third, and fifth. And when those three notes are played together, we're playing a major chord. All right, so let's take a look at that on the guitar. So when we were playing or figuring out the C major chord, we figured out that you need a C note, an E note, and a G note to play a C major chord. So let's take a look at the fretting hand. We've got to play a C, an E, and a G. Let's start with the fifth string because we're not playing the sixth string. So we need to find either a C, E, or a G on that A string. That's not a C, E, or G. Let's move up one fret. We go from A to A sharp. That's not a C, E, or G. We go up another fret. That gets us to B. That's not one of the notes we're looking for. Let's go up another fret. That gets us to C. That's a note we're looking for the C major chord. All right, let's jump to the next string, the D string. That's not a note we're looking for. Next fret is D sharp. Next fret is E. That is a note we're looking for. That works and that fits in the C major chord. C, E, and G. So here we go. We've got C now. We've got E. Let's go to the next string, which is a G. There you go. That's why we play that one open, because that note is supposed to be in the C major chord. So now we've got C, E, G. Let's go to the next string, which is the second string, also called the B string. That's not a note we're looking for, so let's go up one fret. B up one semitone gets us to C. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So now we've got C, E, G, C. And let's play the last string, the first string or the E string. And that is a note we're looking for. So there we go. We can play that one open as well. So now we've got C, E, G, C, and E. We're muting the sixth string, just playing the 5 strings. And every note that you hear in that chord is it going to be either a C, an E, or a G. That's why we have the shapes that we have here. That's why we have the sound that we have, because we're just following this formula, 1, 3, 5. And all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a major chord. Now we could do the same with the D and the same with an E. We won't do that in this lesson just because of time, but hopefully that is starting to make a little bit more sense as to why we're playing what we're playing and how we get there and how we find it. All right, hopefully this was helpful for you. I look forward to seeing you in another lesson very soon.